Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is a spot. Thanks for checking in today, whether you're watching on YouTube TV, watching or listening on the VSiN Watch app, or certainly on Sirius XM Channel 158. Big program lined up. Nick Whalen from Prop Points here on VSiN coming up in 30 minutes. Some fantasy angles with him, players he likes, players he doesn't. Jeff Seeley on the BMW. Mike Buckmiller in studio later on. Former Survivor winner and Paul Stone. His best bets on Notre Dame and also the MAC. Pauly, we have to begin in Major League Baseball and this incredible story with the Milwaukee Brewers after they won their 10th consecutive game again last night. That's their second winning streak of at least 10 games this year. They're only the 10th team since the league expanded in 1969 to do that in a single season. For context, compare them for a second to the Colorado Rockies. Last night, losers again. So that's 8 straight losses right now for the Rockies. This is their 5th losing streak of at least 8+ games this year. 8 games or more.
Yes.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, with an unbelievable run differential to boot. So, as I said yesterday, impervious to bad spots.
Evidently.
And no problem again. So, it's 24-5 run, what they're doing. Good size favorite to win the division. And the Pirates, 17-40 on the road. Peralta, 8-1, last 11 with an ERA of 3 and change. Right back with them. I don't care that it's Skeens. Right? I still, because Milwaukee did to them the last time they faced him as well. So it's just incredible team. Everything's going right for them. Timely hitting, great pitching, great story. Hope to get the Phenom back as well. And you just got to fade the Pirates with that horrible road record.
Yeah, the Brewers are also 40-20 at home on the year, which is outstanding. Last time out for Skeens, it was against the Reds. 6 innings, no earned, 8 Ks. He was awesome. Now, to your point, this is the 3rd time that he'll face Milwaukee this year. If you go back, the first time that he pitched against them was on May 25th. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 8 Ks. He was awesome. Fast forward exactly 1 month to June 25th. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned, 4 Ks. That was it. They rocked him. They got to him. He left the game early. So, and you know, even if we get the good Skeens tonight, the problem with him and, you know, the biggest talking point, one of them anyway, in all of Major League Baseball was the lack of run support. And we can't, you know, forget here that Freddie Peralta is going for the Brewers. I personally don't trust him overall, like long-term, but Peralta is having a damn good season. He has 13 wins. Last time out against the Braves, 5 innings, a bunch of strikeouts. They won that game. So it is a very small number here. It's just, what do you think here? Does Skeens go 7 strong tonight and shut him down completely and they get out of there with a 2-1 win?
No, you're right about the run support, and that's the other thing. I mean, to go last 7 starts, 5 scoreless, but you're 3-1 with a 1-4-2. That number one, they could touch him up. Number two, will they get enough runs for him? But that's quite the conundrum tonight with that line. I feel the same way about the Giant game too, where isn't that a fascinating handicap? It's Robbie Ray at home against Nasty Nestor, and he's only but they've lost 11 of their last 12 at home, and they're a dead team.
Sure.
But it's, just like we said all last week, I still got to take the Brewers at these prices. And number one ROI, not even close. Up 23 units and change. Toronto number 2, 15 units and change. So they're lapping the field there.
Yeah. Remarkable story again. So what about the total now in this game? Because it did open up. I think some spots opened up 7.5 last night. Long gone, obviously. It's down to 6.5 now. And you don't see a first 5 total of around 3 very often. But that's what we're looking at. I kind of want to make the angle for a nothing, like a 0-0 score after 3 innings to bet that under as well at a plus price. But man, first 5 under 3, that's such a small number that you can get an error, a blooper drops, and boom, there's a 3-run shot in the second inning. Then you're up against it.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, he was so bad last time out against them and had nothing. So there's different ways to attack that. But the run that they're on, I don't see how you can make the case for Pittsburgh.
So what do you make of the Cubs-Blue Jays game then tonight? Because Ben Brown is going, this is a conflict for me. Because Ballpark Pal at vsin.com, the K projection, the number one guy, the value guy for an over today is Ben Brown with the K's. However, keep this in mind. Opposing starters, Toronto's now finally back at home. Opposing starters are on a 25-3-1 underrun against the Blue Jays when they're in Toronto.
Off the board, my friend. I think it's Assad now.
I saw that he got called up. So they replaced Brown with him.
It's
then?
off the board here, and I got Assad at DK. I got Barrios $1.25.
Well, here it's circa down $1.20 on the screen.
I know, but the board's got it.
Oh, does it? Okay, so the board's
got
it
off the board.
Okay.
The board's got it off the board. So we got a dip pitching change in this one.
Doesn't that make you like Barrios even maybe a little bit more here in the Blue Jays at home?
Yeah, 36-27 against teams with a winning record as well. And as I talked about, number 2 in ROI. Big series. Don't like how the Cubs are playing right now. And Toronto got a break last night. I mean, that was crazy. That you get 6 runs and Crochet can't win. But Toronto now $3 at DraftKings to win the division. Big series, but the way they are so good at home, what they've done. And a 66-48-5 overrun and for the season. Tops in baseball. 38-19 at home. I'm with you on the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of a cheap number tonight.
Yeah.
So you're right. They got a big break last night. Crochet goes, only strikes out 5. He's staked to a 2-0 lead right away. Gets roughed up. Down 7-2. They come back 7-6, but they can't win the game. They pick it right back up tonight. May takes on Arrighetti. May is a guy that you certainly don't trust. You pointed that out many times. ERA, not great at all this year. Last time out, 6-6, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. Arrighetti came back from an injury. ERA on the year, horrible. Last time out, 3 2/3, 5 earned runs, 11 hits allowed. Are we going to get runs here in this game tonight?
I would think so. Yes, yes. I've been cold in baseball, but from a side standpoint, you had everything in your favor last night. A good Boston team with a hot pitcher who had won 9 consecutive decisions with a Malinsky special against the Astros, and he can't hold them down. And we lose that one, but I would think right back with runs in this one. In this big series with Boston and Houston, but no opinion on the side.
All these games, man, these series and how they're like intertwined are so big and they were like that over the weekend as well. Like the Blue Jays not playing yesterday and the Red Sox losing. Okay, the Red Sox lost that game to Houston. Imagine if Houston doesn't win it. What are they tied now with the Mariners entering today's action?
Yes.
So then you have Kirby going tonight on the road against Baltimore, and he's a decent favorite of around $1.50, maybe a little bit more. And Kirby's been coming on. Last time out, 6 innings, 2 earned, 9 Ks. Been good now for a good solid month at least for George Kirby. And they're getting Dean Kramer in the game tonight.
Yeah, I think they should win too. I mean, it's a chalk fest here, but they've won 7 in a row. The offense has been great. 15 bombs. All these trades at the deadline worked out. How about some props for you here? Naylor, 667 career against Kramer. Rodriguez, 625. On the flip side, Henderson's 462 against Kirby. But the other one is, can the big dumper keep this going as well and keep hitting home runs? And I think it's the records, is it 42 by Javi Lopez when you talk about how many home runs you hit when you actually play the position? But he's got that, he's chasing that record too, but hard to go against the Mariners with the way they're playing and the way this offense has been humming.
Well, now on the screen it says $1.65 here. So that's first 5 actually. So juiced up even more for that. And then we can get into the National League. You quickly brought up the Padres-Giants earlier. If they get a good performance from Cortez tonight, what is this? Did the Angels have the Dodgers number?
Is this the silliest thing you've seen?
Yamamoto had nothing last night.
He's been unbelievable all year on the road with 12 starts. Soriano, putrid at home.
Yeah.
Of course they get blown out, and Yamamoto has nothing. Yep. So they've now lost 5 in a row to him. They killed him. Look at the run differential. It's 40-20. So, I mean, it was a Fugazi score. Ohtani goes deep late.
Agreed.
And Muncy goes deep late.
Yeah.
They play San Diego 6 times in the next 10 days. If the Padres win tonight and the Dodgers lose, for the first time since 2010, this deep in the season, the Padres are in first place. They haven't won a division since 2006. At one sportsbook Friday, the Dodgers were 1,100 to win the division.
Think about that for a second.
Yes. It's still 350. They have a 1-game lead. You can't trust a lot of their starters.
I think,
what's
Paul,
happened.
Last night when the games were being played and the Padres took a 4-1 lead, Dodgers are getting spanked. Padres were still almost 4-1 to win at some books.
I don't get it. I know.
And neither do
They're
I.
Great. Pitching's been great. See if they can keep it going. And that's, again, what you face with the Giants. Look at this price. They're begging you to bet Robbie Ray, but they've lost 11 of their last 12 at home. And then Merrill and company touched up Webb as well. But this is this stretch. We talked about 13 in a row. Giants, Dodgers, so far so good with the win to start. But the Dodgers getting blown out. I mean, you're right. Are they going to lose 6 in a row to the Angels here? I mean, this is crazy.
Oh, and one more game here. This is your baby.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. $1.10 on the run line. It's staring you right in the face. There's no need to handicap Yankees run line. So the Yankees have beat the Twins 8 in a row. Going back, it's 124-44 straight up. 16-2 against them in the playoffs. They've eliminated them 6 times. And it's Rodon going. So I would expect home run derby again. It was supposed to be a bullpen game for the Twins, but it's total ownage here. Total ownage.
It is.
And if Rodon doesn't give up the long ball, the Yankees should take him out and make it 9 in a row.
It was squeaky bum time for like a minute last night when it got to 3-2.
3-2 in the 7th.
Yeah, and the Twins had some chances maybe. But after that, it was just like, okay, that was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
And cash those tickets on Yankees backers again last night.
8 in a row.
Crazy, man.
124-44. It is. Biggest part of the season, couple weeks away. Week 0, college football. Get our college football NFL guides. The 1-2 punch for smart betting. Team previews, power ratings, betting systems, and best bets. That's just the start. And you get the morning email from Bill 80, every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits, the market insights, the systems from Mackinnon, the dog videos. Get the tools and the data and the prop analyzer. $9.99. Sign up today or 50% off with the Pro Annuals Plan. VSiN.com/subscribe.
We need to talk about a team with high expectations yet again this year, a team that has endured several injuries over recent years and are going through it again already in the preseason.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The San Francisco 49ers are a sexy pick this year. A lot of trust in Kyle Shanahan. Last year, horrible schedule, a lot of injuries, but this is also a team that has suffered a lot of injuries in recent years outside of last year. So it's happened multiple times to this team. I don't know what it is, the water up in the Bay Area. And people are just going to look at the easy schedule and say, yeah, this team's going to win 10, 11 games, might get the 1 seed, going to win that division and be a player in the NFC. Well, here we go again. This tweet from Noah Furtado yesterday pointed out that the 49ers practice report, it was the list of the walking wounded, and it continued to grow. A total of 23 players did not participate on Monday, which marked one of the shortest sessions of training camp amid thinning personnel. Still 2 weeks left in the preseason. Here's the breakdown of this. Kyle Shanahan yesterday gave a rough estimate for wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, and it's been well documented what he has meant to that passing offense overall over the years. That was with a healthy Brock Purdy, a healthy offensive line when Deebo Samuel was there. All those things have changed potentially, other than Brock Purdy being there. Week 6 for Brandon Ayuk. Demarcus Robinson, he is appealing a league suspension related to his November DUI. Similar arrests have been 3-game suspensions. Everybody thought this year was going to be the season for Juwan Jennings to break out and be like the next superstar in this offense. He was doing light running on Monday, dealing with a calf issue that bothered him in the spring and reappeared in training camp. Jennings also unhappy with his contract, and now rumors are swirling that because of all of this, like, could the Niners sign Gabe Davis or Amari Cooper? Because that's how bad it's been at wide receiver in that room with the injuries.
I wouldn't mind Davis.
Oh, give him a shot.
Yeah, I think Cooper's cooked.
Okay, it's already thin. Mm-hmm. And now rookie Jordan Watkins suffered a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss about a month. Watkins played 39 snaps on Saturday, second most overall in the 49ers. And Shanahan said, that sucks. He was going to be a big part of August for us. We're going to miss that guy here in the next month or so. On top of that, other guys coming back from torn ACLs, including safety Malik Mustafa. The actual quote from Shanahan could be week 10, could be week 5, but that's where we are when I started thinking about it. Which is a long ways away. No idea when some of these guys are going to be coming back. They're taking shots in the dark at it overall. There's this problem with the Niners. They have been banged up several times, as we talked about. I think this is going to be a major issue potentially in the season. And everybody's pointing to the soft schedule. Well, how about this?
Yeah.
What if the Niners aren't that good? What if they've lost too much on defense? What if they've lost too many weapons on offense? And what if the offensive line has aged to the point of where they're not nearly? I mean, at some point, a team that had the best roster or one of the best rosters for 5 years, that's going to come back to the pack and they're not going to be the same team. I'm not in on the 49ers this year. I'm not going to just blindly bet an over at 10.5 because they have an easy schedule. Not doing it.
I did. And I was aggressive with 1 seed, but this is certainly cause for concern and just feel that you're a snake bit. What's going on? Maybe you can change the way you play too, though. I mean, you got good running backs. Also, it's huge. You get Salah back as your defensive coordinator. You still have a plethora of weapons, but it also goes back to what's your level of trust and where you at with Purdy if he's not surrounded by all that talent, right?
Could be another issue.
So right. But maybe he's not Allen, but it doesn't matter who Allen has at wide receiver. It didn't matter who Brady had at wide receiver. It's just I'm going to get you the ball, and even those glory days with Favre. Those guys that even the guys that Elway had. Once they were gone, they did nothing the rest of their career. Elway made them. Favre made Brooks. Favre made Freeman and those guys. But I still think what they have is enough. But it's one thing to have an injury or two. But once you get these clusters, then you're really going down the depth chart. And you're also asking maybe a big season out of your guy Pearsall.
Sure. Well, so I was looking around this morning at like every book available in Nevada for Ricky Pearsall props. I was able to find one season-long bet. And it was at Caesars Will Hill. It was under team specials. Will Ricky Pearsall have at least 1,250 receiving yards this year, which was plus 750. You can find 11-1 on that at Bet365, but we don't have Bet365 here in Nevada. And then it was pointed out to me that Bet365 has like 40 bets possible on Ricky Pearsall, one of which is, I think it's 700 or 750 yards minus 140. He might be like the number one dude beginning already in week 1. And if Ayuk doesn't come back until week 6, even if Jennings is going to be okay, like it's going to be Jennings, Kittle, and Pearsall. They're going to have to be the offense in the aerial attack. He can't get like 700 yards. I know the guy was shot last year, but he came back, was good down the stretch, assuming that he doesn't, run into the wrong part of Palo Alto again, and that happens. I'll take this guy playing 16, 17 games and sailing over 700 yards. Who else is going to get the ball?
I know. Got Gage. Gage, you're really pushing it here.
You're going to dump it off to McCaffrey?
I could do that.
89 catches for him this year?
Yeah, I could do that too. Oh, boy.
Teams are going to be game planning for him big time.
Yeah. You're running out of dudes. No question.
Crazy the way it flipped.
But I'd still be. That's not bad though if you can get Gabe Davis something. So McCaffrey, Ayuk, Pearsall, Kittle, Davis, make it work. We'll see what happens with Robinson. Probably a 3-game suspension, but maybe they knock it down to 1 or 2, whatever. Okay, and he's had some good moments as well.
What if? And so they begin at Seahawks, at Saints, Cardinals at home.
That helps big time.
Yeah, I know. I like what you said though. What if without all these guys, right, that Purdy had around him a couple of years ago when he was the favorite late in the year to win the MVP, what if Purdy takes a big step back?
It could be. A lot of people don't like him. I know. As good as he was and the favorite to win the MVP before the Monday night debacle, he had some poor moments. And game managers thrown around and used a lot as well. But I also thought last year was a fluke. Everything went against them. Injuries, special teams, the defense was bad, losing close games. And they handed so many games away, especially that Arizona game. Blocked field goal return and what happened, and so many kickers getting hurt and missing field goals. It was just a bizarre year.
Yeah, remember now, last year they were dealt like the most difficult schedule by the NFL. The opponents were very good, but also their negative rest differential was the highest, I think, that Warren Sharp has ever tracked going back, I think, like 15, 20 years or whatever it was. This year, based on SOS, I mean, it's number 1. And again, that's the reason why people love them. They just think they're going to win all these games by default. I don't know. Maybe their division's better than we think. I know some people have poo-pooed it recently. I don't know. Stafford, I'm concerned about that. Cardinals might be good. I'm not super high in the Seahawks, but I don't know. Maybe Darnold puts it together for a second straight year, and I think that defense can be good.
The Niners should be much improved defensively. But if I'm wrong, then they have more issues.
Yeah, right.
But I think Sal will come in and get how good they were. They were elite. with his tenure there, especially at the back end before he took the Jets job.
What do you make of this? Other news across the league. Michael Penix will not play in Friday's preseason game against Tennessee. Raheem Morris, as a reminder, did not use veteran starters last year. Penix, not a veteran, second year. And that was the case in the preseason opener against Detroit. Kirk Cousins might sit out again.
Yeah.
Good idea? Care. Bad idea?
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah. I would say a bad idea. But he also doesn't care. It's how he conducts business. 0-4 ATS now in the preseason in Atlanta. And not playing people again. So I don't want Atlanta. And that's, again, important to look at the depth chart and bet on and bet against quarterback rotations.
Yeah, that would be a team I'm not going to be betting on this week. I'll pass on them. And I did already bet on this team. It was Green Bay yesterday, but I knew that Jordan Love was not in the plans to play in week 2. And now it comes out today that he, late last night, needs a procedure for a ligament on his left thumb. Took a shot by a helmet to that left hand in the preseason loss to the Jets last weekend. The Packers are hope that he's back to practice next week. I did grab them plus the 6 against the Colts, though. That's more of a fade of, the line move, and also, hey, Danny Jones and Anthony Richardson, and what happened last week to Baltimore, and they have a quarterback controversy, and both guys are going to be dueling it out. I think both guys stink anyway, so.
Well, I can't stop anything, and the LaFleur angle is he was pissed off with how poorly they played.
Yep.
And then 2.5-point move on Tennessee as well with what Atlanta's doing. And movement on the over. Also in that game, 1 or 2 games on Friday. But
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Packers as well. And again, the numbers we pointed out yesterday, LaFleur always bounces back off a preseason loss.
Are you getting a little bit more concerned now about that exacta bet that you have? And you talked about this when you made it. It was in the AFC South, and the one thing that you thought that could get you would maybe be the Colts finishing behind the Titans.
Yep, definitely. They were horrendous defensively, right? And that would be, okay, Cam Ward's good. Titans are improved. It was all Will Levis, some people have said, and Indy can't fix the defense. And then you don't have a good quarterback. So that could happen. That could be in play.
I know our buddy Chris Massaro, pro sports bettor. This goes back to last Friday, I think, during our show, and Matt Ewins and I were talking about it, the Colts game against the Ravens. He's just like, this team is absolutely terrible. Everything that you can eat under 7.5 even money.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Steichen, and he thinks the quarterback room is worse than I do.
Also big on the Patriots. Big.
Oh, that's right.
Including week 1.
Loves him week 1. Nick Whalen on the program coming up next, one of the hosts on Prop Points here on VSiN. We'll get his thoughts on that 49ers receiver room and other situations that he likes, doesn't like, coming up here in the middle of August on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll talk more season-long stuff here with individual players in the National Football League as Nick Whalen joins the program, one of the hosts on Prop Points here on VSiN. You can catch it every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. out here on the West Coast. He does it with Jeff Erickson every single day, and he's on the Progressive Guest Line. Nick, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Doing well, guys. Doing well. Appreciate the invite to the show and looking forward to talking some football.
You bet. It's a pleasure talking to you today. Let's begin with what we were just talking about in the previous segment, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. As we pointed out, a lot of people love this team this year because they have the easiest SOS in all of football. They think they're going to win 10, 11, 12 games by default. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about the weapons on offense. I think you have to be. We documented this in the previous segment where they're at right now. Is there a takeaway that you have from this? Mine is I couldn't be any higher on Ricky Pearsall if I tried. What is yours?
I'm starting to feel the same way, to be honest. That was one of the biggest question marks for this team. One of the biggest question marks for fantasy football coming into this season was, okay, if we have these high expectations for the 49ers, we have these high expectations for Brock Purdy, who is going to be the guy in that receiver room? And look, I love Ricky Pearsall, but more than anything, it just feels like it's going to be him by default, right? Brandon Ayuk, we get news earlier today that he's not going to be back until probably week 6 at the earliest. I mean, that's mid-October, guys. And who knows what could happen between now and then. I mean, there was a time when Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall were all being drafted in fantasy leagues right around the same pick. Ayuk is to the point where, he's maybe a late round dart. You put him in an IR spot and hope you get something from him later in the year. But even if he's back in week 6, what kind of ramp up are we looking at? He's still coming off of, a really serious knee injury. He's somebody I'm just kind of setting aside for now. Jawan Jennings, he wanted a trade. He wanted a new contract. I don't think he's going to get either of those things. He's also dealing with a calf injury right now. And you get beyond that 3, then there's Demarcus Robinson, who might be facing a suspension for an offseason DUI. So I think by default, Ricky Pearsall really looks like he's going to be the guy, at least to begin the season for the 49ers. And he's going to have, a month and a half until Brandon Ayuk is back to really assert himself as the number 1 target for Brock Purdy. It's not an airtight case because Ricky Pearsall was pretty inconsistent, even with Brock Purdy for much of last season. Had the 2 big games in week 17 and 18. One of those did come without Brock Purdy. But there's a reason they burned a first-round pick on Ricky Pearsall a year ago. I think they drafted him really to be the replacement for Deebo Samuel. So we need to keep in mind Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, as long as they're healthy, they're still probably the 1 and 2 overall in this offense. But things are really, really opening up for Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, I noticed at Bet365, not here in Nevada, but I confirmed that during the break, they're offering 750 plus receiving yards on Pearsall, minus 140. Looks pretty tantalizing. How high are you on Drake London this year in Atlanta?
I'm really high on Drake London. This is another team that doesn't have a whole lot of options outside of Drake London. And of course, if you're a believer in Drake London, whether you're looking at the season-long player prop market, you're looking at that win total for Atlanta, or you're targeting him in fantasy, it requires you to be a believer in Michael Penix, which I am. I really, really liked what I saw from Michael Penix at the end of last season. And yeah, it was a small sample size, but I think we need to keep in mind the type of production that Drake London put up while basically being handicapped in his own offense by Kirk Cousins, right? I mean, Cousins for a good chunk of the season, I thought was a glaring minus. He couldn't throw the ball down the field. There was no arm strength left. And Drake London, still finished as one of the top receivers in all of fantasy football. And we really saw him unlocked at the end of the season with a real quarterback, with a real arm in Michael Penix. I mean, those last 3 games of the year with Michael Penix, 8 targets, 13 targets, 18 targets for Drake London. Now, is he going to see 18 targets on a weekly basis, guys? No, absolutely not. Of course, that's unrealistic, but I still think there's a level up for Drake London to go. Again, I think he was kind of held back for a lot of last season by Cousins. And, the number 2 receiver for Atlanta right now, Darnell Mooney, he's banged up. We don't know if he's going to be out there to begin the year. They're telling us that Kyle Pitts is going to have a resurgent season. I will believe that when I see it. I think this is clearly an offense that's running through Drake London and Bijan Robinson.
What do you do with Tyreek Hill? They're saying they're not going to trade him, but the 49ers and Steelers, according to reports, have interest. Tua had the comment about you just can't say something like that at the end where he wanted out and you come back and everything's okay. Where do you think he's going in fantasy, and what happens to Miami if they trade him?
It's one of the biggest questions of the season, guys. And I am yet to hear an answer where I'm like, yes, that's correct. That's the right way to handle this. I mean, Tyreek Hill, for all the upside that he has, a guy who was a bona fide top 5, top 3 fantasy receiver just a couple of years ago, he's going in the middle of round 3 right now, often even a little bit later than that. So we're talking the same range to give you some context as guys like T. Higgins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. So really what's happening is that people are basically splitting the difference and saying, all right, I acknowledge the upside. If this breaks right, in the late 3rd round, I might be getting the 5th or 6th best receiver in fantasy. But I think there's also an equal acknowledgement that this could go horribly wrong, right? I mean, Tyreek Hill could get injured. Tyreek Hill could have yet another off-field run-in. Tyreek Hill could demand a trade. And what really worries me about the Miami Dolphins, whether you're talking Hill or Jalen Waddle, and even applies to Devon Achane to some degree, is you almost have double injury risk because you have the most injury-prone quarterback in the NFL piloting this team. So you're worried about the player himself getting hurt. You're also worried about Tua getting hurt on a week-to-week basis. The more I think about the Dolphins, guys, the less invested I want to be in this team.
Good answer.
Yeah. Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Nick Whalen, co-host of Prop Points every single day at 2 o'clock Eastern, right here on VSiN with Jeff Erickson, and he's on the Progressive Guest Line. For many years playing fantasy football, going back, several years now, it would always drive me nuts, and it was inevitable that somebody would take a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady, a Dante Culpepper, an Aaron Rodgers, like right away in the first round. I'm like, oh, it's such a dumb move. Why would you do that? But it would come out, it would help me in return because their teams would eventually stink because they loaded up on quarterback right away. Do you still believe in taking quarterbacks late? Like you hold your breath as long as you possibly can before you dive in?
In general, yes. Yes. There are specific circumstances where I would take a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen or a Jalen Hurts or a Jaden Daniels. But I think the big difference between those quarterbacks I just mentioned and some of the classic examples that you mentioned is they run, right? You weren't getting any rushing production out of Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. So I think the fantasy point ceiling has been raised by these quarterbacks who give you so much rushing production. But I don't want to touch a non-running quarterback early in a draft. And more often than not, guys, I really am waiting. The tier that I really tend to avoid is, that secondary group of quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Bo Nix. These are guys who go in that round, sometimes 4, 5, 6 range. There's just way too much value on the board at running back, at receiver. That's where you could find a really good tight end like George Kittle. And to me, you look at the per game fantasy production, guys like Lamar and Josh Allen, if you're getting them in round 3, maybe late round 2, yeah, they can be worth it because they are just that good on a week-to-week basis. But guys, the difference between, a Patrick Mahomes, unless he's playing at a 2022 Patrick Mahomes level, the difference between him and a Jared Goff or a Dak Prescott or a Brock Purdy is a lot smaller in fantasy than it is in real life. And oftentimes you'll see a 40, 50, 60 pick difference between quarterbacks like that. And if you wait long enough on quarterback, you can feel really good about the rest of your roster. And you could often just take 2 quarterbacks back to back. We're talking the 10th, 11th round. You can end up with someone like Justin Fields, who I think has a ton of upside as a runner this year. You could pair him with a Jordan Love, with a CJ Stroud, with a Justin Herbert. That tends to be my favorite strategy.
Very good. Penix also on that list, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Love Michael Penix. The thing with Penix is you don't even have to pay that kind of price, right? I mean, he's going 40, 45 picks after that group of quarterbacks that I mentioned. I'm looking at some ADP right now. He's going pick 165 on average, quarterback 22, so he's the second or third to last quarterback drafted in a lot of leagues.
Yeah. I like this, by the way, on your list, a couple of running backs that you like, Bijan, Pacheco, but also I'm super high this year on Chase Brown and also Jordan Mason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the case for Bijan Robinson is pretty clear, right? Yep. He's an elite running back. I love that Atlanta team. I think he hasn't yet had his best season. And part of it is I have a hard time reinvesting in Saquon Barkley at the top of a draft. There's, as you guys know, there's just very little history of a player running for 2,000 yards and then having another elite season right after that. But yeah, as you get deeper into the draft, I think Isaiah Pacheco to me is still one of the best values at running back. The clear number 1 in Kansas City. There's just nobody else remotely appealing in that backfield. And I would not be surprised, guys, if by week 5, week 6, Jordan Mason feels like the alpha in Minnesota.
Yeah, let's hope. You can follow Nick on X. He is at WHA, the number 1 EN, and he hosts Prop Points every single day with Jeff Erickson at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. out here on the West Coast. Does a great job with it as well. Nick, thanks for the time today. That was great.
Anytime, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. NFL season almost here. VSiN on the clock tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. 10 of your favorite hosts go head-to-head in the 2025 VSiN Pro Football Futures Draft. Trying to lock in the best season-long NFL props before the odds shift. Catch all the action live. VSiN tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Rapid fire.
Do you know what you're going to do? Do you know what your strategy is yet tomorrow?
No, I get the last pick.
It's always fun to go back-to-back, though.
Yeah.
And a little belly-to-belly action.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, the 49ers, since it's changed things.
Now, here's the thing.
So the Stafford stuff, too.
Like, once one team is off the board, that's it. So if somebody wants to go Saints under 5.5, nobody can take their alt under.
I like the rules, too. Got to be 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 of this, 2 of that.
Yep.
Good.
Win some, lose some. Coming up next. And it's Top 5 Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Best jerseys in sports through the years. Next on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Always some great daily props to bet every day. Will Hill, DraftKings, good stuff. Will there be a shutout? No, plus 240 cashes. And different ways you can bet that. Also, they have, will there be 2+ runs scored in every game as well. Highest scoring game. Tie, Red Sox, Astros, 13-1. Diamondbacks, Rangers, 11-1. Huge comeback by Texas. How about that? Nothing in the last week, 2 weeks has made sense. Evaldi, 6-0 with an ERA of under .50, gets roughed up and has nothing, but they rally down 5 runs to win the game.
Yeah, against that crappy bullpen in Arizona. It's funny because we're watching it at Stadium Swim last night with a bunch of other bettors, and they're like, we're laughing at these baseball results. Like, good luck trying to bet the sport every single day.
Yamamoto, Crochet, and Evaldi going on at the same time.
Yep.
All games to have 2+ runs. No was 5-1. And
say that again.
All games to have 2+ runs. No plus 475.
There was a 1-0 game?
I'm saying, do you think so?
Oh, that's the bet that's on the board.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, and all teams to score a 1+ run. No, yes is plus 350. Angels plus 150. For the 5th straight time, they beat the Dodgers. And Houston plus 145. Brewers 10 in a row again. Yankees 23-7 last 30 against the Twins. 8 in a row. And going back to 2002, 124-44. Gift that keeps on giving. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. It was a live shot again of, was this the spin? There it is. This is what happens, Mitch, with that game, with this triple spin game. If you get dealt 3 of a kind, a flush, a straight, or a full house, you get one of the 3 wheels that comes down, and then you just hit the button. And yeah, I can't believe you can win so much money. There was one for 800. But to think if you get dealt a 4 of a kind or a full house, you have a chance to win 10,000, 5,000, or 4,000 just on the wheel with that spin. Game's very hard to find.
I was going to say, there's no way this is common in Las Vegas.
No, hard to find.
Okay.
Caesars has it. I think Stations Property has it. I mean, to think, how big is Caesars? You were just there, right? It's huge.
Oh, my God. I get
one machine. Yeah. That's the only machine I saw in the whole property.
Google this?
Go ahead, yeah. A lot of places, they'll tell you what they have. You just Google it. Yeah, you're on it. How about this one? Let me tell you something. Hulkamania running wild here. Tribute to Hogan. Look at the 2 French Bulldogs dressed up as Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage. And then they go into the ring, ready to go. Got the sunglasses on. Got the dressed up like a Slim Jim with what Macho Man used to wear, going at it. Got the mustache on and the long hair. That is creativity. Unbelievable job there.
I already have an answer, by the way, for the machines.
Do you?
If AI is correct.
Yeah.
Many spots have it. Like Excalibur has it. Aria, MGM Grand, Bellagio.
Wow.
Other spots you're going to find that at as well. Okay.
Good job. One lose some. Pirates plus 195 down to plus 160. Milwaukee, no problem. And one lose some. Imagine this happens. Hey, leave the door open. Nice day outside, right? Oh, the bear comes in. Hey, got any cookies, any snacks? Walks right in. And then the Pomeranian comes in from the side and chases him out. It's got to have 400 pounds on it.
Oh, it's a 5-pound dog.
Yeah, he was not afraid. There's the owner freaking out, right? Look at coming after
Watch his dog come flying off the steps.
Yeah, look at this. Great job. And then he chases the bear out of the house and off the property.
Oh,
the bear's intimidated.
It's a great job until the bear turns around, stops in his tracks for 1 second. The Pomeranian goes flying 74 feet the other way.
Okay, at least it worked out this time. I know. But to think the guts and the moxie and to say, hey, who cares about size? He chases after the bear and gets him out of here. I love your good call. Going right off the step. One bad beat, Arizona as well. They blow the big lead and blow it in the bottom of the 9th. Texas rallies and extras. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't follow the market. They help shape it. You're not going to out-muscle or outsmart billion-dollar books, so full-time sharps all by yourself with the sharp plays and Jeff. You don't have to. AI and connected to trusted insider sources. They deliver the kind of edge serious bettors count on. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X-Feed. That easy. Been doing it since 2011. The great sources, the documented results, logs, and receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. SharpPlays.com. Top 5 Tuesday.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a top.
You ain't first, you're last.
5.
That's not enough, Dad!
Tuesday.
I've been ready for this my whole life.
Top 5 Tuesday.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Follow the money.
FTM at VSiN.com. Tweet at us as well. I thought about this watching the game Sunday. Those home jerseys by the Bears are nice. Good looking jerseys. So it got me thinking. Go all the way back. Go, I don't care. Top 5 jerseys throughout the years in sports. I'm going to go Chicago Blackhawks, number 5. Those red jerseys, awesome. I got the Chargers at 4. You could go 3 different jerseys. Go back to the Fouts days, the powder blue. The jerseys they wore Sunday were awesome. Mm-hmm. And then you go, remember the Marion Butts teams and Stan Humphreys and what they had? I mean, Googling throughout.
Darker blue, right?
Yeah. Throughout the year, throughout the years, the Charger jerseys have been awesome. Iconic. Yankees home and road, number 3. The home jerseys for the Lakers. And likewise, the home jerseys for the Raiders, the silver and black. So good. My top 5 best sports jerseys. Blackhawks, Chargers, Yankees, Lakers, and Raiders.
Okay, I put a lot of time and thought into this. I have a lot of teams on my honorable mention list.
Sure.
Such as the old Washington Bullet jerseys in the NBA. Red,
Really?
white, and blue.
Okay.
They were kind of like leveled up a little bit with each different color. I thought those were awesome. I love some of the old Seattle Supersonics jerseys in
Very
the NBA.
good.
They would have
Very
like a
good.
Space Needle on there.
I love what the A's used to wear, those retro A's jerseys,
Oh,
too.
the bright yellow on top?
Yeah.
Those were great. The old Patriots jerseys with the actual Patriot on the helmet.
Patriot Pat. Yeah.
Oh, I loved, and they were red tops.
Yes.
Right? Those were terrific.
Yep.
The Denver Bronco jerseys with bright orange, the Orange Crush.
Yeah.
With the actual Bronco on the helmet. All very good. Didn't make my top 5. I had to have one NBA team on here. It's the Nuggets kind of vintage throwback with the skyline and then the mountains in the background on the jersey. I love those. I think those are so slick.
No Lakers?
Nah.
What?
Nah. No. I would have like 4 or 5 NBA teams ahead of them.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I just named some of them. Yeah, for sure. The Bullets jerseys are awesome. Way better than the
Oh,
Lakers.
I'm shocked by that. Okay.
Yeah, Chargers have to be like the powder blue with the lightning bolts, like you talked about. You can go back to the 90s when they had the darker blue. Doesn't matter. They always look good. I have to throw the Buccaneers creamsicle on the list.
They are popular.
Those are damn cool looking jerseys, man.
Yeah.
And I have to put 2 different. It's going to sound here like I'm contradicting myself, but I like both. Over the years, what Oregon has done up in the Pacific Northwest with all of Phil Knight's Nike money to create those jerseys and like the 200 different patterns that they had, the mixing and the matching. And I said forever, if I was like a 16 or a 17-year-old kid in high school, a 5-star recruit, all of what they did, and I've been to 2 games up there and I saw the facilities, they were absolutely A+. It would have been very difficult for me to say no to Oregon because I loved what they did with the jerseys. To flip it, it doesn't get much cooler than Penn State. The navy blue,
That's a good
the
one.
solid white on the helmets. There's no name on the back. It's old school. It's throwback. In theory, we're going to punch you in the mouth, beat you up, and play like 1960s football. I love them. I love the Penn State, but I love the Oregon jerseys, countless of them, over the last, 15, 20 years.
Think you got to consider Notre Dame, the 49ers?
Yeah, Notre Dame's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Bears are good. Do you like the Steelers throwbacks?
No, I don't.
Do you like any of the throwbacks?
Patriots, obviously. I don't mind the old Vikings jerseys from the 70s and 80s, Purple People Eater days.
Yeah, okay.
Those are fine. I'd have to think, though, with going how far back with those.
I don't mind the teal from the Miami Dolphins.
Uh-huh.
It's not a bad look. I always liked the teal for the Charlotte Hornets, too, when they came up and they were first a franchise. I thought those were pretty cool.
To me, less is more, though, too. Oregon was doing so many. I mean, but the creativity was second to none what they were doing.
Yeah, and I was trying to put, what was I, probably in my 20s when they were doing that? And trying to put myself in the shoes of like I said, a young phenom in high school. I'm like, that would be tough to say no to. I mean, it was one of the recruiting pitches that they did. I mean, they've recruited as well as almost any team in the country for 2 decades now. Yeah. Give or take.
That was also big when the White Sox went to the black.
Oh, my God, with Bo Jackson?
That's right.
That was, I think, one of the hottest selling hats.
That's right.
You just said socks up top, right? It was white and black,
yes.
a hat.
When they made that switch, huge.
Those hats were...
They've had some ugly ones over the years.
Yeah, true.
But that was iconic what they did.
Google the Bullets. Tell me what you think.
How far back am I going? Outsold or what? Mid-'80s?
90s? 80s, 90s probably? Pretty good.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, Jeff Seeley on the program coming up next. We'll get his betting advice for the BMW this week on the PGA Tour. This is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.